is we have our cameras off except for the presenter. And then if you have a question, turn your camera on and then we can know to call on you, a question or comment. Thank you.
All right, so it's about time for us to start our meeting. Good evening and welcome everyone. My name is Toyin Arundra. I am a Board of Trustee member for the ANA Foundation, and I'm also the fundraising chair. I'll have our other Board of Trustee members introduce themselves, as well as the ANA Foundation staff. Shanisha?
Everyone. I am Shanisha. As I said in the chat, I'm a senior at the University of Maryland in Baltimore, which is in Maryland. I am graduating in May, and I'm the student representative to the Board of Trustees. I used to be a student advocate before I gave up the position to a welcoming and deserving student that goes to my school.
Luann or Alyssa?
I can go next. Sure. My name's Luann Irvin, and I'm the development director at the AANA Foundation. I've been there around 12 years. So we work with fundraising and marketing and our volunteer groups, state and student advocates. So I love what I do. I love working with CRNAs and students. And again, thanks so much for being here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa Fitzgerald. I work at the foundation as the marketing and fundraising associate, and I've been with the foundation 5 years, and I work very closely with Luann on all of our fundraising and marketing efforts. And we're here in Chicago, and we love what we do. We love working for CRNAs and working with students like you. So I will pass it back to Toyin to continue presenting.
I know we have one more Board of Trustee on the call. Yana, can you introduce yourself too as well?
Yes. Hi, guys. Before I introduce myself, I want to make a note to all nurse anesthesia residents to know from now on that our staff at the ANA Foundation are sometimes better advocates and know more about our profession than some CRNAs. So I highly recommend you stick around, reach out to them, take notes, and make friends and network with them, and definitely have them on your speed dial when you have a question. They are amazing, absolute amazing advocates for our profession. I'm just so honored and proud to be among them. My name is Yana Kremek. I'm from the state of New York. Wore many hats in my humble 15 years as a CRNA, from leadership positions as chief CRNAs, and of course I'm on the board of trustees for the ANA Foundation, multiple committees, passionate advocate, fighting for our profession every day. I love what I do. Advocacy is my love before any clinical work that I do. So welcome, guys. Hope you stay involved and learn a lot in this program. Thank you.
Thank you guys for that wonderful introduction. We appreciate all of you guys. So now I just wanted to start off by welcoming all of our student advocates. We currently have 53 student/resident advocates, and I wanted to welcome our 16 newest advocates. So I'm going to go down the list. If I call your name, just feel free to introduce yourself and tell us what year you are in your program. So we can do this pretty quickly. We'll start with Daniel Strom.
Oh, yes, I'm Daniel Strom, senior at Stanford University. I'm sorry, the last part cut out for me.
That's it. Just your name, what school you're from, and your year.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll go with Jasmine. We can circle back to her if she joins the call. Kelsey.
Hi, everyone. I'm a first year at FGCU.
Thank you. Paraz? How
I don't
about,
think he's not on the.
no problem. How about Alexis?
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm a second year at Newman University.
And then Jana? How about Andrew? Manisha? Christy?
Hi, I'm Christy. I'm a second year at Minneapolis School of Anesthesia.
And then Christine? Oh, if you're talking, I don't think we can hear you, Christine. You're muted.
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm Christy. I'm a senior at Goldfarb School of Nursing.
Rachel? How about Franklin?
Hello, everyone. I'm Franklin. I am a first-year student at the University of Tulsa in Oklahoma.
All right. Mamawa?
Hi, everyone. My name is Mamawa. I'm a junior at York College of Pennsylvania.
Vanessa? Tim?
Hi, my name is Tim Lott. I'm a second year at the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga.
And last but not least, Andrew.
Hi, all. I'm Andrew Gomez. I'm a senior at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston.
All right. We want to welcome all our newest student advocates. Thank you so much for joining the program. We hope that you enjoy being student advocates, and make sure to reach out to any one of us who we introduced ourselves at the beginning, the staff members, and I believe everyone was appointed a mentor, a board of trustee mentor. So definitely make sure you connect with your mentors so we can help facilitate your transition into your new role. Next, we want to congratulate and thank all of our most recent graduates. I'm going to quickly go down this list. Mackenzie, Skylar, Melissa, Rachel, Caitlin, Gabriella, Justin, John, Samarinda, Jared, Mason, Jessica, Avni, John, Tanya, and Megan. Once again, we thank all of you guys. I don't think they're on the call, but if you are, thank you for everything that you've done, and congratulations on graduating. All right, some upcoming deadlines to be aware of. So if you're graduating this year, especially in June, please encourage someone to apply as your replacement. The spring application deadline for student/resident advocates closes on March 31st. And the fall application deadline closes on December 31st. So spring application, especially for those who are graduating in June, email us who you support to be your replacement. And then if you're graduating in December, start thinking about who you would like to, take your place, and they can apply in the fall. And it's okay if there's a little bit of overlap as you transition as you transition off and they transition on. All right, our fiscal year 24 AANA Foundation income through January 30th. So far we're doing pretty good. Our annual fund, we have about $448,000. Oh, sorry, our goal is $448,000. So far we've raised a little bit over $238,000, which is 53% of our goal. Our other giving total goal this year is $400,000. We are at $134,000, which is 34%. And our total given for fiscal year 24 is $848,000. And we are at about $372,000, almost $373,000. And that's 44%. So we're almost halfway there. So we encourage everyone to continue to promote the foundation. For those of you who donate, definitely donate. I believe for students, if you donate $25, you are recognized in our annual report that comes out that's mailed to members. So please, if you can, donate, and if not, it's okay. Just spread the word of the foundation. Now I'll pass it over to Luann.
Great. Thanks, Toyin. Well, it's a busy time of year as far as application deadlines goes, especially when it comes to students. So in talking about our general right now, we have links in the agenda that link to our 24 program application deadlines, and that includes the whole year and everything we offer. Then the student scholarship applications are open now, and they're due March 1st, 2024. That's one of the most important things we want you to get out to your fellow students. So following this meeting, this week or next week, early next week, we will be getting you the winter update, and it will include these links. So we encourage you to get those out via email to your fellow students, not only in your cohort, but the other cohorts in your program, to get the word out and get students from your program applying for scholarships. Also, the Student Advocate Program, we talked about the deadline there. The agenda includes the link to that as far as other additional people applying to replace you, or if you know of other schools that don't have student advocates, you can always spread the word and apply by going to that link and reading about the program and then applying. Award nominations are due April 1st. We have 4 awards, major awards that we give out each year. The John Gard Researcher of the Year, the Rita LeBlanc Philanthropist of the Year, the Advocate of the Year, and the Janice Drake Humanitarian Award for volunteerism. So if you know someone who you would like to nominate, and you can also self-nominate, that is an opportunity. So maybe you have a great program director who's done something great, or read some research that you were impressed with, or whatever. Those applications are open now and due April 1st. The CRNA Scholar Program, that is for CRNAs, people who are already CRNAs, but working on an advanced degree, like working on their doctorate. There are funds available for the research they're conducting during that process. State of the Science, general poster presentations, and top abstract presentations take place at annual Congress, and we usually have probably over 100 posters represented there on electronic monitors. And the due date for those applications it's coming up May 1st for the August meeting. So if that's something you or classmates are going to be sharing research with others, now's the time to apply. And then also we have the link to the Student Emergency Educational Scholarship, our SEAS program, for natural disasters or very extraneous expenses for students in financial need. So if you have any questions on any of those, please let us know. But moving along, Team Miller, Team Mac, we had the competition in 2022, and then we were running it again in 2023. So the Team Miller, Team Mac 2023 totals, Mac, the winner is Team Mac with 54% of the vote, and total dollars raised was $1,182. And for the Miller donors, we had 45% of the total votes and $930. So last year, I think we raised about a little less than $9,000 with this program in 2022. And so now we're up over probably closer to $12,000 raised. And just wanted to let you know, for those who are new on the call, the idea for this program was came up with from a student advocate. So that's fun. And we created Team Mac stickers that we offered at meetings for any size donation. And then we've been tallying the results. So thanks to those of you who have participated in this. As far as award program winners, those are still being compiled. So we will have some information soon, and most likely we'll be sending that out with the meeting follow-up. So someone out there had led the leading program. Okay, moving on to our upcoming events. Right around the corner is AD. It's being held in Orlando. It's going to be held February 15th to the 18th. If you plan on attending the meeting, Alyssa's going to talk a little bit later today about our meeting sponsorship program. But if you do plan to attend ADCE, please put it in the chat or let us know. And definitely be sure, even if you're not applying for this meeting sponsorship, make sure you stop by the foundation booth and introduce yourself. So we have a couple of fun activities that are going to be going on. We have an axe throwing fundraiser, rubber axe, and it's throwdown for the foundation. So that will be near the foundation booth. For a donation of any size, people will get 3 throws, and we are going to have a leaderboard and really cute stickers. I throw down for CRNA research and education. So we hope you stop by the booth and check that out. Also at ADCE, we will be kicking off the Lorraine Jordan Legacy Fund. Lorraine Jordan leads the AANA Foundation, and she's also lead researcher on the AANA side of things, and she will be retiring after more than 36 years as in a role at AANA. She is also a CRNA with the PhD, and she is our fearless leader. We just love her. But so we are creating a legacy fund in her name as she retires, and we'll be raising funds, like I said, kicking off at ADCE, and then you'll see more about it in upcoming things, information at meetings and our seasonal updates and other things. Also at ADCE, we have Watchful Care Volume 2 books left. So we're bringing those to the meeting, and we'll be selling those as well. We have 2 luncheons taking place. One is a ticketed event, Tricks of the Trade when submitting and reviewing abstract applications. And that has to do with posters that are being submitted and the review process and things like that. And then the other is a hot topics. No, the other's the program directors luncheon, and that's an invitation only luncheon for program directors. Mid-year assembly is right around the corner too, in just a few months, April 20th to the 24th. Once again, if you're planning to attend this meeting, let Alyssa or I know. For mid-year assembly, the foundation doesn't have a huge role while we're there, so we ask that you we have room for a few sponsorships for individuals to help at the booth, but the need is really greatest at annual Congress for student advocate assistance. And speaking of annual Congress, this year it's earlier than ever. It's in San Diego, and it's August 2nd through the 6th. Save the date for our fundraising event on August 4th for anyone who's going. And that's from 7 to 11 p.m. And we'll also have the State of the Science general and oral poster sessions there. I think I'll pause here and just ask, does anyone have any questions on program or the meetings that are coming up, the AANA national meetings? Okay, then we will move along to the DEI update. We shared this information last time as far as the scholarships that are available. We have 3,000 AANA Foundation DEI scholarships that are offered. Those are open right now, so now's the time to apply for those. And you can review those and all scholarships. I think we offer 80 or more in total. There's a link there. And then we also offer DEI grants, initiative grants for kicking off a DEI focused program, and research grants. applications for both of those are due the end of March. And then finally, we're doing something a little different. We identified a DEI video on authenticity in the workplace, and we wanted to share that with you. AANA Foundation staff and board have access to Blue Ocean Brain, which is an online platform that offers professional development training and with content focused on micro-learning, DEI, leadership development, and professional development webcasts. So it's really an awesome tool that we have access to, but many of the things that Blue Ocean Brain links us to are YouTube videos that on different subject matters and topics. And we thought, well, wouldn't it be nice if we could share some of the information once in a while with our student advocates and state advocates. So this is the first one that we put out there, and it's a conversation between two Netflix executives, the CMO and the VP of Inclusion, and it's like 24 minutes, so it's sort of long, but I found it so interesting, and I hope you do too. They talk about being your authentic self, imposter syndrome. I thought this quote was great from it. Showing up as yourself is freedom. Talked about criticism and constructive criticism, and not everyone is a hater, so sometimes you have to be open-minded to criticism. Moving from culture fit to culture add, incorporating people into what you're doing that do and can broaden the knowledge of the group. The beauty of evolution, and then they ended with one asked the other, who are you and who have you become? And keep doing you was sort of the little motto at the end. But after I watched it, I just watched it this evening, Alyssa had recommended it, and I thought it was a great idea. So as student advocates, we want you to know that we want you to be and share your authentic selves with us. You belong here. We're happy to have you. And we want you to feel free to share your opinions with us. Even though they might differ, we want to hear from you and grow this program with all of our combined experience, knowledge, and points of view. We're from all over the country, different ages, different backgrounds, different everything, races. So we want you to know we're here to hear you. We sit in our office and think, how can we engage students, and how can we make the student advocate program better, and how can we get input or gather input? And number one is, since you're only with us for a short time, sometimes it's hard to feel comfortable enough to share your opinions or your ideas, but we want you to know that we're here to listen, and we want your input to not only make our program better, but just to improve all the things that we're working on together. I know we do have a student rep on our board, and that's Shanisha, and she represents the students, so she would love to hear from you. And as far as not only myself, Alyssa, and Toyin, and Yana on the call, but any of our board members. So we know that the future, you as students are the future of the profession, and we want to be here for you and connect in any way we can. So with all that being said, I hope you'll take a minute, 24 minutes, and watch the video. Certainly you don't have to, though. It's just an extra add-on that we think is beneficial to everyone. But we do want you to feel free to express yourself and any ideas you have as we go along, how we can improve our meetings, how we can improve the presentations that we give you, or anything we're doing with you. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Alyssa, who will go on with the next part of our agenda.
Awesome. Thanks, Luann. And again, I echo all of that. We love hearing from you and hearing your feedback. And with that being said, I will move on to agenda item number 7, student advocate benefits and recognition. So the first benefit listed here is our student advocate webpage. This includes our information and the application. So this is where you want to send people if they want to apply to become a student advocate. But this is also where we list our student advocates. And we will be updating this webpage. We've undergone a giant web update with our website. The AANA as a whole has as well. So we'll be updating this. So if you haven't sent us your headshot, or if you have a new or updated headshot, please go ahead and send that to us. And then you'll be recognized on our website in the role. You, as a student advocate, you also get listed in our AANA Foundation annual report. It's on page 18 if you want to go ahead and take a look from last year. But that's another place where we recognize our student advocates. Your name and photo is included in the annual Congress student luncheon slide deck as well. So please get us that headshot because you'll be listed on that presentation that is shown during the student luncheon at annual Congress in San Diego this year. You also get a AANA Foundation board mentor. And so your board mentor is really there to just be a leader and somebody who is on our board and you can connect with and ask any questions. And, we want to offer you guys opportunities to network and get to know people in the profession. And so that's a great benefit of this program and we want you to take advantage of it. So please make sure if you have not done so already, please email your assigned board mentor and ask if they have a time that they can set up a phone call with you. And additionally, we've had a lot of board members roll off the board, just being their time to move on. And so we have a lot of you may have some reassignments. So please take a look at this updated spreadsheet and see if you've been reassigned. And if you have, you might want to take some time and reintroduce yourself and set up a call with your new board mentor as well. Student advocate communications and social media posts are another great benefit. We really want you to share that winter update with your classmates via email. And we will get that to you next week so that you can spread the word about scholarships and all the other programs and opportunities that the foundation has to offer for students. And then we've also been sharing different social media student highlights. So we shared a testimonial from Isabel, and Isabel volunteered with us at Annual Congress last year, and she was also a scholarship recipient. So we featured her on social media and her testimonial. Thank you, Isabel, if you're on the call. And then Lissa Daly is another student. We have a really great testimonial from her that we've been sharing with everyone that talks about her scholarship story as well. So if you have a story or a testimonial that you'd like to share, that we would love to share it. So please feel free to forward those to me if you have any about the sponsorship experience or your student advocate experience as a whole. We would love to hear from you. Student advocate resident meeting sponsorship. So as Luann mentioned this before, we offer student resident advocate meeting sponsorship at AANA meetings. And the way that this works is student resident advocates can receive $1,000 for volunteering with us at national meetings. We like to hear from you at least 3 weeks prior to the meeting if you're attending and applying for the sponsorship, and we'll get back to you with suggested opportunities. Each and every year, I'm starting to hear from students earlier and earlier, which is great. However, at the same time, last year for Annual Congress, we had a lot of people sign up really early, and then we had quite a few people drop out. So I think a good thing to keep in mind for the meetings moving forward is feel free to email me and sign up. And I'm going to be keeping a list because certain meetings are first come, first serve. So like example, and a good example of that is MYA. We really only need a couple volunteers for MYA this year. So we'll only be accepting a couple. So if you're interested in that, I would reach out for that as soon as possible. But we would love for people who are interested in volunteering for Annual Congress. I'd love to hear from you. You can sign up, but we also want you to register for the meeting as soon as possible. And that's something I want to reiterate is that you are in charge of registering for the meeting, paying your meeting registration, staying at an Airbnb or a hotel and paying for all of that. And then after you've completed your paperwork, you've attended the meeting, you've assisted at the foundation booth, then you complete and submit your paperwork, your application and addendum. And then we will send you a check in the mail for $1,000 as a reimbursement. So does anybody have any questions about the program? I really can't see the chat, but if anybody wants to just pop on and ask a question about this briefly, you're more than welcome to. One other thing I want to add is that each student or resident will only be eligible for the meeting or for meeting sponsorship during one time during their time as a student advocate. So you only get one meeting. Any questions?
Alyssa, we have a question.
Hi.
This is Lexi. I was wondering, so does the $1,000 include the cost of the ticket as well for registration?
So basically, you pay for your registration up front, you pay for your own meeting registration. So the $1,000 sponsorship is we just send you a reimbursement as a flat after the fact. So you would pay for your own meeting registration, hotel, etc. up front.
Thank you. And then there's a limited number of spots for like annual Congress. It's not just like anybody can go.
So last year, everybody who wanted to attend was able to attend. So last year, I think I had 20 people sign up, and then we only ended up with 12 volunteers. And so we have a set budget. I think the budget is for like 25 to 30 student advocates to attend meetings every year. And so that's sort of the allotment that we have. So we have a lot more spots for annual Congress because we need a lot more volunteers. We have so many events and we need so many hands on deck. And so annual Congress, there's definitely more meeting opportunities. However, Luann and I have never told any student advocate that they won't be able to volunteer with us. So we haven't ever had that problem in the past. We just want to know how many people want to come and volunteer with us in as much advance as possible.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry, I had one more question.
Yeah.
Do we know yet what time on the 2nd? Because I was looking at flights already just to see, and I didn't know if it would be better to arrive like the day before.
Usually we will let you know when that comes up closer. But we usually stay to look at the schedule, and the first full day is usually when we like you to be there. Luann, do you want to speak to that at all for annual? Do you have a better idea than me of what day we would probably want people to be there?
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at it, and it would probably be on Friday, to be there on Friday. So depending on what part of the country you're coming from, and not wanting to spend an extra night on the Thursday night hotel cost, I would say to plan to be there as early as you can on Friday would be my suggestion.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody have any other questions? Yeah, Daniel, I see your hand. Go ahead.
One question for those of us that became student advocates during our senior year and will be graduating. Is this volunteer opportunity also extended to us, or?
It's technically during only one time during your career as a student advocate. So we typically don't, but hearing this feedback, that's definitely something we can bring back to our board and let them know. There's also a program through VA that it's technically run through us as well. But there's a program through the AANA. When you do your registration, you can sign up and click a button that basically says, I would like to be entered in a lottery to have my registration paid for or covered. and that is the Sponsor a Student program. So if you are going to go to like ADCE or maybe mid-year this year, you can also do that as well if it's still within the time that you're a student. But yeah. Any other questions? All right. With that being said, I'm going to move on to our next section here, which is outreach to your classmates. So the most important thing we would like you to do as a student advocate is we would really like you to give the foundation presentation to your fellow students. And there's a lot of different ways you could do this. Some people like to set up a time to be able to present to several classes or groups, or be able to present to everyone in their program at once. Some people record themselves giving the presentation and then distribute that out to people. That's totally up to you at which way you'd like to give your presentation. But we ask that you give it, and then when you do give it, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love your feedback on the presentation and what other people thought about the presentation. And then easy ways to donate to the foundation. If everyone could make sure they're muted, that would be great. Easy ways to donate to the foundation. You can go to our website at aanafoundation.com and visit the Ways to Give webpage. You can also text to donate, and then we also have our different campaigns and addresses there as well. And then social media. I will pass it on to Shanisha to talk about social media.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Speaker. So for social media, you can follow us on a number of different avenues. We have a Twitter page. We also have a Facebook page, a YouTube account page, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Flickr. So for next steps, ensure that you distribute the winter update to others in your program and give student advocate presentation. As Alyssa said, there's a number of ways to do it. You can also, an idea that I had before that I did was I shortened it a little bit, but had all at the end of class discussion one day. That's a great way to get it out to students. Contact Alyssa if you'll be applying for the Student Advocate Meeting Sponsorship at ADCE or MYA. Make your FY24 donation to the AANA Foundation. Student donations of $25 and more are recognized in the annual report. It's a good feeling. You can see it in real time, get a copy of it, and have it at your disposal for you to keep. Upcoming Student Advocate quarterly meetings. So the meetings are quarterly and held the first Monday of the month. They start at 7 p.m. Central Time, and that will be 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and end no later than 8 p.m. because we like to respect your time. Mark your calendars for May 6, 2024 and July 23rd, 2024. Again, those are on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Any questions from anyone?
And here at the end, we always feel free to come back on and put your cameras on if you'd like at the end to say goodbye or for any, final thoughts. Oh, yes. Tim asked about access to the agenda. Yes, we will be recapping the agenda in the form of minutes, but all the links and everything like that. So that comes with the follow-up. So when the follow-up comes, we made a recording of this for those student advocates who couldn't be here. So we'll have the link to the recording. We'll have either a morphed agenda / minutes, and then our winter update, which we ask you to pass on to others. And we might have the Miller Mac competition information in there as well. So yeah, just watch. It'll be one big email. Everything will be in there. And before have one question. Do most of you have access to something like the winter email or the winter update, or do you send it to your program director to send it out to others? How does that work? I mean, feel free to throw it in the chat or speak out, or is there any other better way to do this? Because, you know, what was something that students will look at and, you know, oh, Shanisha has her hand up, so go ahead.
Yeah, so what I did when I was a student advocate was I updated it with my contact information and my photo, and then I wasn't able to get a listserv for every cohort in my university, but we have someone that works in administration, and I forward her the email and type up everything that I'd like to include, highlight any links that I think are important because everyone doesn't always open attachments. So I always include like the scholarship information, updates, and deadlines in my initial email. I highlight everything, give my contact information, then I include the attachment and say, can you please send this to everyone in the cohort? And all of my faculty gets it, all of the professors and every student in every cohort.
Wonderful, great. That's wonderful. Thank you. I see some others. Oh, Janine has a question. Also, you get to wear a ribbon. Yes, for $25 plus donations, you get a ribbon to wear at national meetings, and also being a student advocate, you get a ribbon to wear. The just coming. Good. And Monica said she does the same as far as how she gets the email, the updates, the foundation updates out to her classmates. So yes, that's our suggestion. If you have another way, let us know. The list. Toyin, any final words, Toyin? Oh, you're on mute.
Yes, and I just want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Once again, a lot of us have put our contact information in the chat, so feel free to reach out to any one of us if you have a question. And I look forward to working with you this year. Good night.
Hey,
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Does somebody want to say something?
Yeah, Cordero
Can you
had his
guys
hand
hear?
up.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, please.
So I was looking at the scholarships, and I was curious, is there anywhere we can find out where these regions are? Some of them are specific to like Region 3, Region 4. Where can we find that information at?
Yes, let me go to, I'm opening AANA's website right now. So at aana.com, if you go to, let me see.
I think you can search it since we have that new search bar in there.
Okay, regions. Let's see. I know they have a really fancy map that if you scroll on the state, you get to see different information about the state. Oh my goodness.
Another great reason why everybody should make it a point to attend a meeting at least once in your residency, because that's where we go over all these very, very important information that everyone should know. Remember, you guys, and I'm not trying to shame anybody or anything, please forgive me, but I'm just extremely passionate about this. You enter in the profession at a time that is vital, where a research that was the foundation's part of that research is coming out now and highlighting the importance of, you know, CRNA reimbursements versus physician reimbursement, how we do exactly the same. You have to understand the only medical profession in this entire, in the medical field, anesthesiology, is where you have two professions doing exactly the same job. So lots of that coming out. Attend the meeting, learn all this information, know your region, where you belong or where you're going to be eventually working. And ANA, yes, ANA website is extremely important for that and very valuable source.
Yes, agreed. And I just found it on the website. It's actually at the top here. It's like its own little tab. That's why it's kind of tricky to find. So you go up to this top here, and you're going to want to like select your state. And I believe you're in Illinois, Cordero. So you would be in Region 3.
Mine isn't working. Mine isn't working, Alyssa.
Oh, no, that's not good.
No, it's just under state, national, that link, and then there's a map there, right? And it says national. Oh, you select your state from a drop down.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Got it. Thank you. There we
Yeah.
go. Thanks for
So yeah,
sharing that.
no problem. So that is where you can go and figure out your region. Any other questions? We have time. We have 12 more minutes. So if you have any other questions, we'd love to answer them.
Is the Miller Mac going to be restarted for 2024, or is that continuous?
So we have to decide if we're going to do it again in 2024. Because this year's numbers were significantly lower than the previous years. I think we'll probably try to do something different. What we're doing for ADCE actually is sort of a similar concept in some ways to Team Mac, Team Miller, but we're doing basically a sticker fundraiser, but we're also going to have like a fake axe throwing kit, like a rubber axe throwing kit. So with a donation of any size, you get to throw an axe and throw down for the foundation, and then you get a sticker with your donation. And if this works out, or this is something that we think that people have a lot of interest in, we might continue it and pass it down to our student advocates as well. Or we could do a different sticker fundraiser. We could do, skip the axe thing altogether, since it might be hard for people to find axe kits. Or we could send people axe kits, but that might be something that might be a little more challenging to do, but we could totally do that too. And then, we're open to other sticker fundraiser ideas as well. So that's another conversation to be had. So we're open to it.
One other thing I wanted to add is we talked about board mentors, but many of your states have state advocates. I know we have some open states. If you're in a state that doesn't have a state advocate, and down the road, maybe that's something you would be interested in. But if your state does have a state advocate, you could reach out to them now, because many state associations have spring and or fall meetings. So maybe there's an opportunity to partner up with your state advocate and have a presence, a foundation booth, or they're planning a foundation booth and you could possibly help out at your state meeting. I know, Tim, I think you're on from Tennessee. A few years ago, we held our board meeting at Tennessee, and the student advocate was there with the state advocate, and it was a lot of fun. I think they were doing the Miller Mac sticker at that time a few years ago. And the person that's in your reach out to and connect with. And, just have a connection with one more CRNA who's been in the CRNA world for a while.
I have a question. I have a few questions, actually. When you were talking about financial or fiscal year for 24 and you were giving the numbers in the beginning of the year, is it the end of January to the end of January every year?
No.
Or when is your fiscal year? July to July?
It ends July, August, the end of August is when so it starts in September, ends in August.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I'm in a library. So September to the lights went off. I hope they didn't lock me in. September to August, and then also for how many people are awarded for the scholarship on the beginning of March 1st, the one that's due then, the 1,500 word essay.
Well, there's about 82 scholarships in total that are offered, and they all have different criteria. So when you go to the scholarship page, you'll see a lot of them are sponsored by a state, and it only goes to students within that state. There are some that are multiple. So when you apply, you can check the different boxes of the scholarships you're interested in applying for. So make sure you read the criteria and only select the ones that, you're qualified for. And then 82 students will, or whatever it is, I think it's just a little over 80 this year, will receive scholarships.
So what the one that I'm going to speak about, I'm actually going to have a meeting with all of the cohorts in 2 weeks from now. But I wanted to talk about that. I'll look it up online so that I know what I'm talking about. But like on 3-1, the scholarship that you guys spoke about, I'll be right there, is due. How many people, so I'll look to see, I didn't really see a number on the website of how many people, so I'm assuming it's 1. And then,
Yes.
Okay, and then
Sometimes
if I
they'll
was to say,
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, sometimes there's more than one. Sometimes it's one $3,000 scholarship. Sometimes it'll say in the description, 3 $3,000 scholarships will be awarded. It's detailed if you dig down into the descriptions.
Okay. And the other part was, how many people apply for these scholarships? Are you getting a really good applicant
I would
pool
say
to
a
choose from?
lot apply, but a lot apply for multiple. So I think if they count the entire thing, you might have 2,000 applications, but one student might apply for 6 scholarships, for instance. So
okay.
Yes.
Because they actually looked at the site and applied for everything they could apply for.
Right.
The Team Miller MAC was the $12,000 or the total of $9,000 since inception, or is this like yearly?
This one, the numbers that were in our agenda today, those were what was raised in 2023. So a little over, I think, 2,000 or something. But last year it was a little over almost $9,000 raised in total. So to date, over the 2 years, it's been like 12,000. But the one good thing about it that we really like when we're out at meetings, it's not only it's fundraising and like friend raising awareness. So that like we have a lot of student advocates that help out at annual Congress. So it's fun at the booth. There's a lot of people coming around and people liking the stickers. And it's just also letting them know who we are and what we're doing so that people do know that if you're going into research, you can apply for research scholarships here or grants or, other things. It's just getting people to know who we are.
I've actually heard about that fundraiser before I came to any of these meetings. So it is touching base around like, are you Team Miller or Mac? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not choosing something just yet. So
good. See, that makes us happy,
But it was good to hear. Yeah, good feedback. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christy, too. And before you present or whatever presentation, if you have any other questions, feel free to email Luann and I, and we'll make sure you have every answer to every question so you can present everything super easily.
Right.
Just a quick question. So with like social media, more specifically with my LinkedIn account, is it okay to, post some of these ways? I guess I would rewrite it in a shorter, text because it's social media, but to kind of advocate for like donations. Is that appropriate for us to be doing that through our LinkedIn profiles?
Sure. You could sponsor or talk about the foundation and that, join me in supporting or whatever our profession. Absolutely.
And the easiest way to do that would probably be to share some of our social media posts from LinkedIn. We do have a LinkedIn page. So a lot of times I will post things like during CRNA week, I posted a couple different asks and you can kind of share those and say, I support the foundation. And you can give the link to donate, but also the easiest way to collect a donation for the foundation. If you're anywhere and you're like talking, you're just like, oh, you want to support the foundation? The easiest way I always find is just texting CRNA to the number 41444, and that's listed in our agenda too. So that's like the easiest way to catch a quick donation. So you can even put that in your social media post. I support the foundation, and if you want to too, you could just text to give, and text CRNA to 41444 to make your donation today.
Okay, perfect. Thank you guys.
No problem.
Yeah, and I would also say you can text CRNA to 41444 to see what you'll get. First, you'll get an email that says like, oh, you know, like thank you or hello, and then you click the link and then you can see what people see. So check it out, and yeah, then you just really have a real good feel for how it works.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
All right. Well, we're just about at an hour. We have about 20 seconds left on this call. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining. And if you still have any questions or whatnot, email us, contact us. We will definitely get back to you. Everyone, have a great night. Good night.
Thank you all so much. Good night.
Thank you.